Hello everybody and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. Last time we got the last of the endings that are possible for us right now, and we might go back and get the ones we missed another time, but I think that's going to involve a whole new playthrough for me off screen, because my main goal right now is to finish up these 3 episodes that are now available now that we're at the end of the game. That way when Citizen Sleeper 2 comes out, we'll be ready. So we'll probably, once we finish these episodes, take a break from Citizen Sleeper, wait for the second game to come out, play that, and then maybe we could get the endings for both after that, just so we have time. I really am excited to see these. We're going to try and go through 1 episode every video, so this should probably take 3 videos, depends on how long the episodes are, but we're starting with Flux. But to do that, we need to harvest some shrooms. And I don't really like any of these roles. So we're going to sleep in the Hyphodorm and then we will try again tomorrow. But first things first, let me repair us. I'll double repair because I don't particularly like being that weak. I am not weak. Okay, and cycle. We just need 1 more of the gear roll, and then we'll be ready. I think we ran into these people like right when we came into the Greenway, but we've been gone for so long. Oh god, why are those still so garbage? Alright, that's better. Alright, let's see. There we go. Get that fungus. And another one. Oh my god, we did not get any gear roll. What the heck? Oh wait, let me get some spores up in here. Is there another way we can get gear roll? Maybe I might be only able to grow them. Talk about bad luck. Or maybe good luck, because we did get rare stuff, which is what we need, but to make our thingies. Let me see. Yeah, we could steal the harvest, but that only gives us energy. So yeah. We're just gonna sell food? Would that give us some? I'm not strapped for cash after all, so we can nope. Dang. Okay, we're gonna sleep for 3 times and then I'll be back. You know what I am gonna do, just in case, because I don't know what is going to be happening? We're gonna buy some ship mined fragments just in case we might need some, because these are always in kind of short supply. We can only get 2 right now, but this means if it comes back, when it comes back, we'll be ready again. The stuff will be done tomorrow, so I'm just going to use some scrap to make sure that we're stable, so we have all of our actions tomorrow. End the cycle. Ooh, and we got some good rolls. Alright, fingers crossed that we get some gear roll. Let's try a lower roll. No, I'm not gonna risk it. We just need 1. Oh, come on, please. Pretty please. I'm asking nicely. God damn it. Fine, take my bad roll. Oh, thank goodness. There we go. I'm glad I saved up these spores. Let's add these up again with our Garbo rolls. There we go. And now, to start episode Flux. Here are your gyro caps. Okay, Esh asked you to bring supplies, and a fragrant eye-grown gyro cap seemed like the perfect thing to impress her. So let's boop. I have way better mushrooms, but you know what? I don't know if they deserve them yet. Esh sees you coming up the broken spoke and waves you to the cavernous bay of the climbing briar. You came! Peek smiles as you walk into the climbing briar's cargo hold behind the gloomy Esh. They brought mushrooms. Esh tosses the mushroom caps onto a crate, raising her eyebrows at Peek. Peek gives her a look. Thank you, Sleeper. They pick up one and sniff at it. Are these edible? Just don't say anything. That would be so mean. They are. Peek turns the cap over in their fingers before putting it down. We're not so used to fresh produce. Ash is securing crates as she speaks, and doesn't look up. Hawthorne doesn't have much in the way of farming. Hawthorne? The installation we grew up on. Ash wipes off her hands on a rag. XPR loves to name their property after natural things, but that's about as far as their relationship with plant life goes. XPR? This is an interrogation? She glares. Either way, we are done with that place, which is all you need to know. Ash leans back against the crate she was securing. We're going to need more than a few mushrooms if we want to help those refugees, though. What did they need? Let's just get right to it. Food, water, components, a whole lot of things. Ash stands and walks over to the mushrooms you brought, placing them into a small container with care. The problem isn't just getting supplies, it's getting them through to the ships. Can't you just fly around? I know both of these are kind of dumb questions. And get the Briar seized for breaching quarantine? No thanks. She laughs. We were lucky we got here before the cordon was set up. That's the only reason we're on this side. Why is there a quarantine? Peek jumps in. The Eye has a closed-loop life support system, just like any other orbital station. Any unfamiliar illness or significantly increased strain on life support could cause a cascading collapse in its systems. Ash scoffs. Are we making excuses for these bureaucrats now? Peek turns. We're being realistic, Ash. But these people aren't an increased strain, they're living people. Ash stares at you. Even calling them refugees is just a way of turning a lot of scared, desperate people into a single monolithic group. Ash slides the container full of mushrooms into one of the cargo hold's racks. Look, as much as I'd like to chat, we've still got a lot of space to fill up in this hold, so if you're going to help... I think Ash is trying to say we need your helping quickly, Peek says, glancing at her. The refugees behind the cordon. They won't be able to hold out indefinitely. We need to get supplies to them in the next 12 cycles, or... Ash steps forward, or Haven Age will have to bear the responsibility for whatever happens next. What can I do? There's 3 things we still need to secure. Water, food, and scrap components for ship repairs. Ash gestures to the storage containers around the hold. Water we can find a way to source, or my preference, just siphon off from the underground reservoirs in the Greenway. Peek raises their eyebrows. Ash. She ignores them. For food, things can be tricky. Those mushrooms are delicious, I'm sure, but there's no way we can get enough volume to feed a flotilla. However, I saw an algae stack on the way over. If we could get access... No more stealing, Ash, Peek sighs. I didn't say steal. She stares at them indignantly. If we can access, we can work the stack. Harvest some algae for the flotilla. Those stacks churn out vast quantities in short timescales. And the repair components? Peek asks tentatively. Ash smiles. Look around you, Peek. This whole place is made of scrap. She shoots you a glance. And I'm sure the Sleeper has their sources. They can bring them right here. My source is me. I get stuff. I'm self-sufficient. We get everything before time runs out. Perfect. We get most of it, also good. Either way, in 12 cycles, I'm going to take what we have and go. How will you get through? Ash shoulders a container. I thought I'd leave that up to you, Peek. They flinch. Are you serious? Ash, I know we said we would help the flotilla, but at what point? They stop. Take a breath. Take this seriously, Ash. I don't know the first thing about breaching a quarantine cordon. Maybe not. Ash looks at you. But they might. They slipped out from an SNARP facility, didn't they? Plus, they've been here longer than us. You're always trying to get me to find help. Well, here it is. She gestures at you. Help. Pete glances between the two of you. I swear to... They sigh. I need to think this one through. Meet me at the cordon in a couple of cycles, Sleeper. Maybe we can figure something out. Meanwhile, Ash meets your eye. You can help me acquire the supplies. Discreetly. She smiles. We have to keep this quiet. Keep Haven Age out of the loop. Once they get suspicious, this is all over for us. This all suddenly seems a little too real. Too dangerous. You've only just found your feet on the eye. This is not the time for causing trouble. Come find us. We'll be out there trying to pull this all together. Ash goes to the back of the hold to start packing another container. Peek, come help me. Peek glances back at her. Sleeper, look. We didn't choose this either. They lower their voice. Help us finish this. We've set up a base camp on the Broken Spoke, and you're welcome to rest there in any of the cots while we work on this. They smile. We're in this together. Peek! Ash shouts, and they walk back into the hold to help with the container. As you leave the climbing briar, you look out at the broken edge of the Eyes Ring, where Haven Age's cordon blinks with tiny red lights. What are you getting yourself into? More trouble, but when have we ever not been in trouble? That's been our whole thing. We've got 12 cycles, though. I bet we can do it. We already have scrap. We have ship mine stuff. We have a lot of mushrooms. I think we could do it. Okay, so we need one of 3 things the flotilla needs are components for repairs. There's a lot of ships, which means a lot of scrap components. Flotilla needs food and water. You might not be able to get all of them, but Esh will take what you can get. Peek's plan, all the supplies in the world or nothing. That's Peek's part in this. Okay. We need scrap, and we need it fast. We have 2. Are those ships still there? I believe one of them was selling scrap. I believe I could only get 3, but that's already 5 if they're still here. They're gone. Oh, shoot, they're gone. Okay, they'll probably come back. When are they coming back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, if I had started this earlier, dang mushrooms. That's fine. We can't start today, but we can start tomorrow. Reservoir S3. Oh, whoa. Okay, we can hack the sensors. Only way for Esh to get enough water together is to siphon it directly from the reservoirs. Haven Age will not be pleased. Okay, we need water, so that's something to work on. Well, what else do we need? We need food. Algae stack. What's this one? Algae stack is controlled by a small collective of farmers. If you want to use it, you'll need to persuade them. Okay, algae access. So we need water, algae, scrap. I think we can do that. But first, we need sleep. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna eat some food. I'm gonna buy some from the farmer over here. We're gonna eat, then we're going to use one of our stabilizers to make sure we're full up. Because it looks like we're gonna be busy, busy, busy. So let's barter for food. There we go. And take a stabilizer. Luckily, we've been saving up. And end cycle. This is exactly what I was planning for at the end of the last video. Well, not exactly. I didn't know it was going to be this, but I'm definitely glad we waited. Okay, not bad rolls, not bad rolls. Let's see. What should we start with? How about the algae stack? Do I have a +2? I only have a +1 to this. But I can get this in 2. We could do this now. Oh. Maybe we can't do this now. You know what? I think we could do this now. Yeah, we could do this now. One thing at a time is all we gotta do. And that's already one thing done. Oh, that's a good roll too. We could get started on something else. Okay, the algae stack is done, so let's see. We need algae growth. Algae takes time to grow, and each cycle more can be harvested from the stack. Patience is required. Okay, accelerate growth. The stack grow at regular rate, but with some careful feed adjustments and water cycling, you can improve your yield per cycle. Maybe we should do that. We have the thing. We're gonna risk it. It's a start. There we go. That's getting started already. That's 2 cycles down. Oh, this is stressful. At least we got a place to rest. Let's go cook some food real quick. We need to stay as healthy as we can, because we're going to be busy, busy, busy. We should definitely give that scrap over too. Maybe, I think next time we'll work on the water situation. If we get that siphon going, then that might be something that is timed as well, and then we can focus on getting scrap. Scrap! So why don't we share the cots? This is our new base now. Ready by time. Alright, we got good rolls again. Or oh! I thought I accidentally skipped to the next cycle again. As you leave, you find a note pinned on the outside of the door. It reads, Sleeper, there's something you need to see. Meet me at the cordon as soon as you can. Just keep heading around the ring until you hit the flotilla. I'll be waiting. Peek. You pocket the note and glance around the corridor. Looks like you're doing this. Time to make a plan. Wait, plan? I was already doing this. Oh, hello. Peek. What is that? Sleeper. Peek catches your attention from the shadowy corner where they were leaning against. Any trouble getting up here? None. Good to hear. Come, take a look at this. They beckon you over to a nearby window, which looks across the ruined ring to the blinking red lights of the Haven Age cordon. Ooh. The cordon's temporary structures, a net of metal struts meant to detect and dissuade any ships from entering or leaving the flotilla, jut out into the black, and all around the tugs flit, securing them in place and tending to the red blinking drones that demark the quarantine. It's an impressive and worrying sight. What do you think? Peek interrupts your thoughts. How would you get through? Just go for it hard and fast? Create a distraction or use one of the tugs? Maybe a distraction? Isn't that what we used for some other stuff we did? It's not a bad idea, but what kind of distraction is big enough to get everyone to look away from a ship as big as the Briar? Peek squints at the red lights. Surely they'd spot and seize the ship. Peek turns away from the window and rubs their forehead. Ash has really wrapped us up in something here, hasn't she? The question is spoken under their breath, and they don't seem to expect an answer. The silence grows. Are there other options? If you've got them, I'm happy to hear them. Peek smiles. The way I see it, there are 3 parts to making it through that cordon. They gesture out the window at the strange structures. Deception, distraction, and speed. We'll need all of them for clean passage through. Deception means tricking the cordon security into thinking that we're meant to be there. Maybe a tug escort could work. Anything that makes the Briar look official. Distraction, meanwhile, will be all about diverting attention so that no one looks too hard at what the Briar is doing. If we can, create a gap in the cordon scanning and deterrent systems. That should keep them busy. Finally, speed will mean making sure the Briar is ready to roll. Perhaps we can do a little work on the ship to get her ready, as Shirley wouldn't mind. They lean back from the window. How does that sound? Excellent! It's definitely risky, but what other option do we have? Pete grins. Don't get too excited. There's a lot to get sorted before we make the run. Peek looks down at their slate. 10 cycles left. They glance out the window at the cordon nervously. 10 cycles to gather the supplies and prep this plan. It's tight. Very tight. No, I'm gonna be quiet. I know how tight it is. I'm trying very hard. That sounded wrong. Peek looks at you. If this goes wrong. Peek sighs. Just get out, okay? They squeeze your shoulder. I'll follow Esh anywhere. But you don't need to get dragged down with us. Okay. Good. Peek brightens a little. I don't need any more guilt than I already have. Let's get to it. Peek stretches. I'll tell Esh about the improvements to the Briar and the rest. Let's explore the cordon as best we can and look for openings. I have no idea what guardian angel sent you to us, Sleeper. Peek smiles, but I'm very glad they did. Alright. Ooh, I gotta drive. Is it enough for anything? No. I have no upgrade points. I wonder if just at a certain point you can't get any more. I don't know. Okay, so what do we have here? We need to explore. Intercept. We can intercept the radio or blend in with the crew. 10 cycles. Okay, the algae stack is going. We need water. I can take care of this now. Haven Age alert, Haven Age alert. Hacking them will reduce the alert level of the system and keep you from getting locked out. Trip this and the whole place will go into lockdown. Okay, so we need to do this. This might take longer than I want it to. But I have +2 to engineering, so let's start with these, because this will take it up to 6. Okay. Oh, this one is going to take longer than I thought. What else should I be doing? I know there's the scrap, but I think I'm also gonna look around here. Because I have the rolls. And this means that we'll be able to get this done next time, unless I get a good roll. No. It was worth a shot. Okay, so goals. Explore Cordon. Get more scrap, which I could probably do at any time. But I will start... Oh, I need 8 exactly. Okay, so we need to work on that too. But again, that's something else I could do next time. I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. I don't work well under pressure. Emphys, can I have some fungus? There we go. Okay, okay, okay. I wonder how I would have gotten that note if I hadn't slept there. Would they have just stalked me? I don't know. But, let's end the cycle. We got this. I believe in us. I believe in myself because I'm the only one doing anything, as usual. Okay, good rolls, good rolls, good rolls. First things first, let's finish exploring the cordon, and we'll use our worse rolls because I can get those higher. There we go. What have we got? Cordon operations, crew canteen, Haven Age hangar. Oh god. Okay. Some careful sabotage to the cordon system should create a sensor gap. Okay, across the cordon, Haven Age security are keeping a close eye on things, gain their attention, and you'll struggle to maintain access. Okay, then this is for deflect suspicion or tug escort. Okay, with division rife among the tug crews, gaining support for a supply shipment will be just a case of picking the right crew and approaching them discreetly. Okay, and then this one. Slice thrusters. Tugs have powerful suite of ion thrusters for rapid maneuvering. If you can sneak in and slice them off, you'll have a significant upgrade for the Briar. I think since I have pretty good rolls right now, I'm gonna do one of each of these. There's no chance for us to fail because these are good rolls. And I have a lot of money for this one. So we'll get this started. Cordon operations. We're working on it. One more roll attempt. Okay, that's a 3. I can get it up to a 5. Maybe I can use this over on the water. I can try. It's either going to be a positive or a neutral, and the only thing that would happen is my condition goes down, which I'd be fine. There we go. There we go. Okay, okay. Okay. Not too bad. Oh, and the algae stack. So there we go. Oh god, I'm so stressed out. Go to bed. Wait, I need food. I'm just gonna bribe the farmer again. Take my money. I really feel like we're doing all we can with the rolls we have. We've been getting pretty lucky. I'm going to use a stabilizer. I figure I can always, in between episodes, get more stabilizer if I need it, and then continue on to the next thing. But we're going to end cycle. We're full. We've got stability. Oh, baby! Look at those hot, hot rolls. That's beautiful. Okay, 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 okay. What's going on with this? Algae growth. Oh, we need to harvest it. Oh, okay. Okay, flute for the flotilla. Let's do this first, because we need it. All right. And then, can I do it again? Ah, wait. It'll be done again next time. So let's see. What else can I do? Water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am going to do one more right here. And then we're gonna do the rest over on Cordon. I really need to gather scrap, but there's just like so much going on right now. There we go. Convince a crew. There we go. And then this one. Okay. Next time I think we definitely gotta start gathering some scrap though. We need 8. And I have some. Oh wait! When are the ships gonna come back? How much longer do we have for that? Because I can buy stuff from them. Oh, and we've got the Paz import and escort. Okay, those are... Matsutake, I can escort... no, that's to make money. I don't need to make money. Oh, 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 oh! Buy some scrap. That'll get us 3, that's 5, then we just need 3 more. Oh, thank goodness I came back over here. There we go. We've got 3 scrap. Wait, 3? I thought I bought more. What happened? What? But I had 2 scrap. I'm confused. I don't know. I swear, did they give me ship mind? I only had 2 ship mind before. Did they give me a ship mind? I don't know what just happened. Oh, I can offload scrap. I don't know what just happened, but I have 3. I'm gonna have to look back at the footage because I swear to God I bought 3. Whatever. Let's just cook our mushrooms and then we'll try again tomorrow, I guess. I guess 3 is better than 2, but what the hell? Oh, that's bad. What happened? We were getting good rolls before. Okay, well the 2 4s I can still turn into something good. It's the other ones that are not good. So let's get some food in us just in case. And then let's see. First things first. We can... I don't know if I want to risk that. Can we do something with the water? Yes, we can. Okay. Okay. Alright. We can get one thing done at least. Okay. And then... the water is siphoned. Tucked into a service corridor deep below the reservoir, Esh is double-checking the seals on the water tanks loaded onto the motorized trolley. Though you are far enough away from any thoroughfares to not worry about being overheard, you both still speak in hushed tones. All good? Esh nods silently and hits the ignition on the trolley to start it moving. You take up the other side of the trolley and walk it up the wide service corridor with its flickering lights and Solheim detritus. You doubt it gets used by Haven Age, at least that's the hope. You glance across at Esh, her face a mask of determination as she guides the trolley along. Maybe some conversation will make this journey go a little easier. She didn't like getting interrogated before. But I'm gonna be a brat. How did you meet Peak? Esh pauses, a little surprised by your question. She glances back down the tunnel, but in this deserted passage she can hardly keep up the presence of silence. We grew up together, she answers quickly, and turns back to the trolley, but she can tell you're expecting her to add more. I'm nosy! She seems to want to gather herself for an answer, not wanting to ignore you, but trying instead to get her answer straight in her head. Our outpost, Hawthorne, is not an easy place to grow up. The administrators keep a tight hold of everything. She rolls her eyes. Even though they're trapped in the same decaying installation as everyone else. Peak, she pauses. Peak found it harder than most. She pauses again, judging her words. I stepped in to help them out. Silence descends again, but you can feel the wheels turning in Esh's mind as the creaking wheels of the trolley take you along the corridor. Peak isn't the most practical of people. They used to be, well, they needed someone to teach them to look after themselves, stand up for themselves. That was me. She smiles. After that, I couldn't get rid of them. Esh stops talking, but you see her eyes have lit up, and you imagine she's recalling some moment or other from her and Peak's past. You both reach a wide bulkhead doorway, and have to stop to shimmy the trolley over the edge. When you're done, Esh turns to you. I'm good from here. Head back. And with that, she's gone, moving off into the dark tunnel ahead. You watch her go and then turn around and walk the distance back to the staircase you entered from, the tunnel humming around you as you do. As you walk, you try to piece together Esh's past, but all you have are glimpses of a person she once was. She seems to prefer it that way. But we don't really know each other, so that's understandable, I guess. Okay, so we have food. We need scrap. We need water. Oh no, we have water, we need food. So food is next, and then I gotta work on the other thing. So let's rest. We're really coming down to the wire here. If I get 5 scrap in one day, that would be enough scrap. Just saying. But the rolls are not on my side. Jesus, that is bad. Should I work on food? You know what? Let's just do a full-on... I don't know if I want to risk it. I get +2 to these, so let's do this at least. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We get one good one. And, okay, that's only a... That's a +2. We can do that. Positive or a neutral. Okay. Okay, we could get this done now, but I think I'm gonna wait. I think I want to... We need more food. Okay. And then this one I can't do jack shit with that one. Even using it somewhere else will only get me up to a +4. We're already halfway through. I'm so stressed out. Luckily for me, I can cook my own food. I even know my mushrooms are done, but I can't do anything about it because I'm busy. Can I have scrap, please? You took my scrap from me. I swear I had more. Whatever. I'm worried if I mess with it, it's gonna go back down. I don't want to repair myself, so we're just gonna go to sleep. I don't want to waste the stabilizer until I'm actually flickering. I know this is a risky business because I think we're about to be flickering, but we'll see. No, oh, no, we are flickering. That's not good. Okay, but we have all right rolls. Can we get this done now? Let's harvest that algae. Okay. One more cycle, and then the algae will be done. So that's one more thing done. We can get this done. So that's that. Oh, nope, we didn't get it done. My bad. I thought I would be good at something. But we're getting closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh! Why do I keep getting bad rolls? Let's make some more matsutake. Okay, filled up on that. Then let's get ourselves a frackin'. Oh, right. I was gonna do a, pill. There we go. Done, done, done. Okay, end cycle. We're really coming down to the wire here. I still need to get scrap. I am just low-key, high-key freaking out. Okay. Okay. I can for sure get this done. I can for sure get food done. Let's see. Do I want to risk a good roll? I'll use these. There we go! Food's done! You're leaning against the metal crates you just loaded up with algae, packed and dried into bright green pucks. Esh hops onto one beside you, flexing her aching back. Is this enough? Or no, she's probably gonna be like, it's all we're gonna get, so I'm gonna just stay quiet. You both choose to stay silent, Esh's face etched with deep thought. She seems to be calculating something, perhaps whether or not the algae will help the refugees, or something else entirely. In these past cycles, working the algae stack with Esh, you've had little insight into her mind. She rarely seems happy to start a conversation, but is always eager to end one. Despite this, you feel like something has grown between you, something like silent trust, the kind that tends to seed itself in the fertile soil of hard but necessary work. There's something I've been meaning to ask. Esh raises her head cautiously. Go on. Why escape XPR? Esh pauses, her protective instinct fighting with the trust you've built. You can see her begin to shrug the question off. Then she stops, rethinks, sighs. What you need to understand, Sleeper, is that Erlen's Eye wasn't the only place where the Solheim collapse happened. Sure, Hawthorne, where we grew up, was an XPR installation, but that didn't screen it from Solheim going under. Actually, Solheim was the only reason XPR were ever there. She pauses, hesitant to get into the whole story, but wanting to offer something. She flinches, correcting herself. They're a service corp, you understand? They set up outposts and surrogate systems like this to offer refueling, logistics, and maintenance service to bigger companies with extraction contacts. She gestures to the eye around her, like Solheim. When Solheim went bust, XPR lost their client. And Hawthorne, well, we lost everything. We became an outpost tasked with just holding on. Keep the refueling platforms running, they said. Keep the outpost stable. Hold on to our claim. She rubs at her head, as if recalling all this was somehow physically painful. Do you know what it was like to spend your entire life in a place with no future? A place that only exists to hold a legal claim to a piece of territory? To shore up breach of contract negotiations between two corporations? It's like living in a... She searches for the word, her eyes jumping back and forth. In a grave. She clenches her hands. So if you're looking for an answer to why questions, that's your answer. We, Peek and I, know what it's like to be forgotten, to be locked out. She stares hard at the side of the stack, the algae whirling against the glass in beautiful patterns, and she doesn't look away. The silence extends and you realize the conversation is over. Esh seems angry, not at you, but with herself, for even voicing such ideas. For a while you stand and start to load the crates onto the powered cargo trolley that Esh will run back to the Briar. As you do, you try to catch her eye, but she avoids it, smoothing herself instead with the comforting simplicity of physical work. Well, awkward conversation, but perhaps one that needed to be had. I feel like we need to understand each other, especially with all the risky businesses we're getting into. Alright, let's risk it for the biscuit, see if we can get some of this. 4. Okay, so I feel like I did get my stuff snatched from me. That is honestly kind of rude. 5. Roll again. That was not worth it whatsoever. I guess we could do this. 6. Okay. We could probably finish this up tomorrow. Maybe we're not as screwed as I thought we were. Fuck, why did I say that out loud? Anyway, I'm gonna make some mushrooms. Matsutake, my one true love. You keep me alive. Cause I can't sunbathe right now. I'm busy using my good rolls for anything else. Everything else, basically. And... end cycle. Come on, pray to the dice gods. But they're not nice to me in D&D either, so I don't know if they'll be nice to me now. Okay, that's just passive-aggressive. Oh! Oh my god, what is that? A rapid burst of movement catches your attention. A drone, its fin adjusting as it hovers in place, floats into the corridor. Hello? The drone shifts a little, but does not respond. The drone buzzes closer, and a voice gurgles out of its speaker, distorted and strange. Sleeper, come to the cordon. We need to speak. Who is this? The drone clicks and whirs, and the recording begins playing again. Inspect the drone. You move closer, and the drone bobs away to a safe distance, but as it does, you see the HA of Havenage emblazoned on its side. Could this be Fang's drone? Satisfied it has delivered its message, the drone rotates and accelerates away as rapidly as it arrived. You stare at it as it disappears from sight, hoping for some insight that escapes you. To the cordon, then. Who? Could it have been Fang? Unknown. As you enter the passage that leads through the cordon, a flash of movement catches your eye. The drone. It stops to make sure you've seen it, then flits off into a side passage, leading to a set of narrow stairs. You climb up through a dark shaft, the drone stopping at each landing to check if you're following. It's like a puppy. Despite its lack of expression, there's something overbearing about the way the drone waits, impatiently realigning its fins in sequence. After a long climb, you come out onto an observation platform. The cordon and the vast, ramshackle refugee ships beyond fill your vision. The scale seems impossible, and immediately you feel small and naive for even thinking you could affect the situation. Something shifts nearby. The drone again. Oh, who are you? Helen. A woman is standing at the window, at the edge of your vision. You aren't surprised you didn't notice her. She seems too impossibly small in the shadow of the flotilla. The drone buzzes by her shoulder and she turns. Sleeper, sorry for all the cloak and dagger nonsense. She nods at the drone, but I have never regretted being cautious. She smiles a tight smile and holds out a hand. I'm Helen. She draws the hand back in, unfazed, clutching the large slate she carries in her chest. Look. She glances around the empty observation deck, as if checking for potential eavesdroppers. Let's be straight with each other. I know about your plans, and, she cuts in before you can respond, I understand your motives. You look at her overalls, the yellow markers, the HA signal. You've been on the eye long enough to recognize a Haven Age member when you see them. You're Haven Age. Yes, I mean, I expect that is obvious. The tight smile again. I hope you won't hold that against me. Depends on what you do next. She glances around nervously again and moves a little closer. This entire situation, I'm not here to defend it. She glances back at the flotilla. No one is happy about this, especially not the refugees. She sighs. I'm not your enemy here, no matter what you think. She pauses. Sleeper, tell me something. What does Haven Age mean to you? I don't know. Hardenhurst? She squints at you. That was unfortunate, but you should know it was one of our own who exposed Harden, and that has been dealt with. Haven Age is used to being criticized, in some ways we invite it. Our members are free to bring up grievances at any meeting, to propose new structures and approaches. She shifts her weight impatiently. As a counselor, it is my duty to listen to them. That is why I was elected by the members. We're an imperfect system, yes, and each counselor, each member, each representative can be flawed and worse. She looks down. But we keep this place running. That's what we do. And the flotilla? She turns and looks out at the clump of fractured ships. The flotilla is a problem. Can the Eye take in thousands of refugees safely? I don't know. This place is a ruin, Sleeper. What do you think the council discusses? The price of gear oil? We make the plans to keep this place spinning, to keep life support working, to ensure... Helen's slate chirps, and a grim look passes across her face as she sees the notification. She looks tired, the screen light casting her rigid expression in a pale glow. Sleeper, I didn't bring you here to explain how Haven Age work. I came to talk about your plans to cross the cordon, breach the quarantine, and supply the flotilla. She looks directly at you. I'm not saying anything. I know you think you're helping the flotilla, but you can't do this. Right now, halfway along the ring, one of a countless series of debates are being held. These debates are to evaluate the potential harm that could be caused if the refugees of the flotilla are left to enter the station. These debates are at a standstill. Helen walks to the window. Too many in the Haven Age Council think of the flotilla as a threat. After recent events, a hardline group has emerged. Protective, selfish. They seek only to benefit the members. In their mind, the flotilla is a danger to life on the Eye. If you're caught crossing the cordon and breaching the quarantine, It will only strengthen the hardline counselor's case. Criminals who stole a ship from XPR are undermining the security of the station? She shakes her head. It's exactly what they want. The refugees need supplies, though. They do, and that's exactly what I want to give them. But unless the quarantine is lifted through a fair process, they'll never get them. She sighs deeply. And those ex-SPR spacers you're running with? Sleeper, do you know anything about them? I do know some things, definitely more than I know about you. She looks at you pleadingly. Let's change that, Sleeper. Why do you think the refugee flotilla came here now? Something is happening in the system. Something is pushing people out of colonies and outposts that have survived since Solheim collapse. We need to be ready for whatever is coming. Ready to protect the Eye. From people who need help? I know the Eye means something to you. I know there's a reason you're still here. Help me protect it. Helen fixes you a strong look. Persuade those spacers that this is the wrong move. That they'll get caught and the flotilla will be locked down. That Haven Age will be delivered into those with the worst instincts. Forget this suicidal supply run with people you barely know. Help me fight for the Eye. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I mean, maybe you're really trying to help, but when... I don't know, I feel like... Helen looks at you, hoping for some kind of response. Don't offer the excuse the hardliners need to lock the flotilla out altogether. To persuade the members they're the safest pair of hands. She looks at you imploringly. Please. You look back at her and the flotilla behind and sense a desperation in her plea. A notification breaks the silence. Shit. She rapidly scrolls through pages of data. Sleeper, I need to go. She looks torn. Think about this, please. Talk to the spacers. Help them see reason. And she quickly leaves the observation deck before you have time to respond. You stay for a moment, watching the lights of the tugs and the flotilla, and wonder what it feels like to be on one of those ships, so close to your destination and yet so far from it. And then you think of the Haven Age Council Chamber across the Eye, where the right of these people to find safety is being debated. You shiver, and then you too are gone, back into the stairwell in the cold dark below. Oh, God. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't know. I don't feel like I can trust them. I don't trust. I do not trust. I do not trust. I say as I continue with what I'm doing. Okay, I did get a little suspicion there. I was just about to say we haven't gotten any suspicion yet, but like, oh God. Pete grins as you pile the ion thruster sets onto the motorized trolley in a derelict loading bay. I borrowed this from Esh. I barely know how it works. They seem giddy at the idea of stealing the ship parts from Haven Age. I thought you worked for XPR. I did, but not as the repair tech. They help you heave the thruster into position. My specialty was computer systems. I mostly worked on keeping the protocols that ran the refueling platforms from totally decaying due to lack of use. There's loads of platforms in orbit on the moon Hawthorne is on, and Cinder itself. Esh and I ended up having to head out onto them regularly to work on them. Sounds like hard work. Are you kidding? Peak smiles. That was the best job at Hawthorne. You get assigned a ship, you get to leave the colony for a bit. So much better than outpost maintenance or canteen work. The only reason we got assigned it was that Esh's mother is the administrator of Hawthorne, and Esh managed to get my name on the list too. Peak looks for the trolley's ignition. Esh is always saving me. They find the switch and hit it, and the trolley starts whining. Peak looks at the thrusters. Esh will install these. The Briar is her baby, really. Peak looks toward the bay exit. Truth be told, I was surprised she could bring herself to take it from her mother. Losing a ship? That has to have hurt the colony. What is her mother like? Tough. You'd have to be to keep control of a service outpost with no services to provide. Peaks looks away. It's a tough place overall. Hawthorne and Esh's mom, she likes it that way. Peaks shuffles the trolley out of the bay into the corridor. They'll manage without the Briar. No choice. Peak smiles. And I have to admit I'd love to have seen her face when she saw we'd gone. Peak pauses. Don't tell Esh that. They walk on quietly, lost in their memories of Hawthorne. Okay, I think I can manage the rest. Peak brushes their hair out of their face. You've done more than enough this cycle. Peak looks over the thrusters. Once these are fitted, the Briar will handle better than ever. You might even get a thank you from Esh. Peak laughs. They head off into the corridor, the trolley whining in its high-pitched whine. See you soon. I don't know, they don't seem like... I don't trust the Haven Age person. I don't trust Helen. It's just, these people need help, and we're not giving them any. If it's been debated about so long, but we need direct action. I don't want to just sit around and wait. I don't know if I can trust them. At least they're trying to do something. Okay, hang on. Are any of these close? What about the canteen? I can get rid of some suspicion here. So I think I'm gonna do this, just to be careful. No more suspicion. Reroll. There we go. Let's do this one. There we go. And then I don't think we have any more +2s. How much is it to... Let's risk it. 7. 8. Okay, I lost a little energy, but that is absolutely okay. We now have 8 scrap. Alright. That's that. Okay, food, water, and components. What is the components thing? Oh gosh. You look over the pile of scrap components. Oh, that's it. I'm dumb. Lying in the briar. You look around. The bay is empty. Esh and Peek are either elsewhere on the station or on the bridge a couple levels up. You begin sorting through the pile, separating out useful components and boxing them by use. You don't recognize everything you find, but before long you get into the rhythm of sorting. As you do, your mind starts to drift, your attention being drawn into the dark corners of the bay. The briar is in surprisingly good condition, considering that Hawthorne and XPR must have been operating it for decades by now. The marks of care are everywhere, from the delicate patch jobs polished to meld into the original finish, or the carefully bound wiring running through the custom trunking. Esh loves this ship, that much is clear. Something catches your eye on one of the dark corners. A matte black stack of crates you hadn't spotted before. They're sleek and compact, tucked away behind some of the bigger, more worn containers. You put the components away and go over to the sleek crates. You run your hands across their textured surface, but there's little hint of what lies inside the opaque metallic casing. Then you see it, a yellow symbol, embossed onto the far side of the crate, a universal sigil used by spacers, corporations and manufacturers alike. It's one you've seen throughout your time as a sleeper. Its meaning all too familiar. Explosive contents. Oh! You hear a hiss, and Esh comes up through the bay's lock. She barely registers your presence, nodding at you as she passes. Sleeper. She busies herself with some task at the back of the bay. Hey, what are these crates? Esh doesn't turn around from whatever she's busy with. Just more supplies, Sleeper, like everything else here. You can't think of anything else to ask, but sense that the atmosphere has somehow shifted. You quickly finish up the sorting and slip out, waving goodbye to her back as you do. Oh, I can still get upgrade points. Okay, so we have all of the components. Are they gonna blow something up? That's not good. But you know, whatever. I'm still gonna work on this. Because I don't even think I can try and talk them out of anything until I actually finish everything, so we might as well finish everything first. So let's see. What was I doing over here? Oh, food. Food. There we go. Alright, we should be able to finish everything else within the next few cycles. I think we only have 3 left, so we have hopefully enough time. Okay, and end the cycle. I was trying to think if there was anything else I needed to do. Okay, garbage rolls, as usual. Uh-oh. Sleeper, Peek is waiting for you when you leave, but they look different. Pale, drawn out. You need to come up to the briar, now. They don't meet your eye. Okay, what's happening? Not here, Peak hisses. Come to the ship. We'll be waiting. Peak walks away. Don't take long. And with that, they disappear around the corner, leaving you anxious and confused. What's happening? Y'all! As you walk into the Climbing Briar's cavernous bay, now filled with crates and containers, Esh is waiting for you. Uh-oh. In front of her, sliced open, with its insides scattered across the top of a heavy-duty crate, is an object you recognize. Helen's drone. You freeze. Come in quick. Peak nudges you into the bay, looking behind you before sealing the entryway. We have to start being careful. You move closer to the container, your eyes on the drone splayed out in pieces, some parts of it hooked up to a slate that Peak picks up and begins tapping away at. Esh looks up at the dissection. We caught it buzzing around nearby, heading for the ship. She leans over and taps the HA symbol on one of the removed pieces of plating. It's a Haven Age spy. We think we got it before it sent data back, but we can't be sure. Peak looks at you nervously. Esh cuts in. Have you noticed anyone watching you? Any drones like this? Anyone following you up to the Briar? I'm gonna be honest. I've seen this drone. Esh frowns. Following you? I met its owner. Esh pauses for a while, Peak looking between the two of you. Explain, Sleeper, Esh says quietly. Tell them. I'm gonna tell them the truth. You explain that you met with Helen at the Cordon, and you tell Esh and Peak about what she told you, that the Haven Age Council are debating lifting the quarantine, but they're blocked by the hardliners. You speak faster and faster, but before you can finish, Esh walks away in anger, and then comes back again, her eyes burning. What is this, Sleeper? Have you understood nothing from what we've told you? She paces in front of you. Haven Age are not your friends. They're administrators, which means they're interested in only their own power, their own survival, their own causes. They divide people as easily as sorting livestock. The greater good of their work demands it. The wider project of the station, the colony, the nation. Her eyes are as wide as she speaks, her anger barely contained. I didn't have a choice! Pete cuts in. Listen to them, Esh. They're with us. Pete glances between you. What was the Sleeper supposed to do? They were ambushed by this Helen. I only listened. I did not agree to anything. I stayed silent on purpose. Let me tell you something, Sleeper, Esh says, her rage hardening into pain. When people become administrators, they give up something. Some part of being human, being an equal among others, goes away. They start talking about the greater good, the systems, the way in which their hands are tied, or their process is compromised. My mother was an administrator of Hawthorne, and I've seen what it did to her. That higher, noble calling, it is toxic. People should never have had the chance to decide the fate of others, and those that do so at a cost to their humanity. Peak tries to cut in, but Esh holds up a hand. Don't start, Peak. Don't ask me to be reasonable or calm down. Thousands of people are desperate out there. Being reasonable will only prolong their suffering. I mean, I agree with her. I don't know, maybe it's just my own experience, but it just feels like nothing is getting done. How long have they been debating for? And people are still stuck out there with no supplies. It shouldn't be this difficult. It shouldn't be difficult to want to help people. I'm with you. Esh doesn't move for a moment, then she lifts a hand to rub her temples. She goes to say something, then stops. She walks back into the bay and starts checking the straps on the crates. I will make the run. She yanks on the straps. No more distractions. Sleeper. Peak looks torn. You have to understand. This is personal for Esh. I know. Peak looks away, then at Esh. I don't know, Sleeper. I just don't know what to do. Glance around the bay of the Briar, the walls seeming closer every second. This whole thing is closing in on you, and the question is, where do you want to be when it collapses? You look at Peak. And what do you think, Sleeper? Peak rubs their forehead. Should we do this thing or not? I don't know. Because I don't know if Helen was bluffing. Maybe she did genuinely want to help and we saw desperation in her face. But those people need help now. They've been trapped in that place, right? That's not fair to them at all. Just a couple hardliners are like making it so people can't eat or drink or have any sort of supplies. I mean, I guess I can understand the quarantine to a degree, But they don't get anything? It's not fair. So I really don't know if I can trust her. Maybe if it had been Fang, I would have listened, but I know nothing about Helen. I don't know. Peek nods. Me neither. They look at Esh. But you see her? She knows. And she saved my life. So I'm going to say we do it. They squeeze your shoulder. Onward. They slip away to help Esh, leaving you alone to replay the conversation in your head. A certain kind of grim determination settling in the room. Last chance to prepare. Looks like there's no going back now, but honestly, I don't want to go back. I want to help. And this may be our only chance, the only thing we can do. I don't know if talking down would help anyone. I'm worried that if I tried to talk them down too, they would do it without me. At least if I'm here, I could possibly try and help. Peek is waiting for you when you slip out of the operations center, nervously poking at their small slate. Sleeper, they hissed. I followed what you were doing on the network. Incredible work. How do you do that? It comes naturally. Peek smiles. I can't tell if it's modesty or just the truth. Interfacing skills like that, it's almost worth being... They stop themselves. Sorry, I didn't mean... don't worry about it. I've gone through a whole game of dealing with my existential dread. Peek nods. Sorry. You and Peek quietly slip into the main walkway and work your way back to the public areas of the cordon. AVNH has had to quickly respond to the flotilla's arrival, and that means a lot of contractors and spacers walking through these corridors. You blend in easily enough. I haven't really met a sleeper before, Peek begins, as you might have guessed. They smile nervously. Hawthorne is an XPR service outpost, and since the collapse no one came for refueling or repairs anymore. So my generation has never met anyone outside the company. We heard about sleepers, they nod in your direction, from the data packets that come through XPR every once in a while. They usually contain news along with the corporate propaganda, but the reports were light on the details. SNRP have kept the sleeper program pretty quiet anyway, and I think XPR are the only interested in telling their employees about it because it made living in our company town look like a good life, in comparison to being a piece of company property. They freeze. Sorry, again, I don't mean... They look down. I'm just not sure how to talk about this stuff. Neither do I. Peek smiles. Glad I'm not alone. I'll shut up about it now. You walk a little further, the walkway becoming busier. You both relax a little more, and go with the flow of the people. I just want to say, I think I understand. They begin again. Clearly this has been on their mind. I understand the need for an escape. To get free of it all. They laugh at themselves. The structures, the systems, the company, horizons in a company town. They stare ahead. The small places, small corridors, small people. They look away. The slow death it brings. That's it. They turn to you. I get why you signed up to be a sleeper, and why you escaped from that too. I'll give a nod. You try to form words, but you can't. There's altogether too much running through your head. But you look at Peek, and they look at you, and that seems okay for now. You walk in silence again, each of you in their own thoughts, but moving together through space nonetheless. After a while, you come to the entrance to the cordon, where handfuls of workers and crews filter in and out through two huge loading bay doors. Peek stops. Okay. They pause. I'm heading back to the Briar. Once again, incredible work on the sensors. That blind spot you created. That should give us a real advantage. See you soon. They head off, disappearing into the crowd almost immediately, outrunning their own nervousness. I love you, Peek. See, I don't know. I feel like we've got a real shot at this. I just need 1, 2, 3, 4 of that. And that's it. We just need 4 of that, and then we have everything. And there's no suspicion on us right now. I know that one person knows about us, but I can't let that stop me. I'm gonna try and harvest some mushrooms. Alright. 3 Girl, that's not too bad. I can use that to cook something. I just feel like if we have a chance to help these people, why would we stop? Why would we not do it? It's not right. I don't like Helen. I don't even know her. it's Mean Girl. She doesn't even go here. Alright, I do think we need to take another stabilizer, because I don't have any good rolls to use for scrap. Man, I really am glad I saved up these stabilizers. Really became helpful during all of this mess. Oh, baby! Those are beautiful. Okay, we're getting this done for sure. Just the canteen left, and we've got all 6s. Or mostly 6s. Oh, fuck, I just wasted one. It's fine. It's fine. At least we know for sure there's no suspicion on us. Why do I say things? Do it. It's fine. I'll get rid of that suspicion. You meet Peak leaning in the corner of the canteen in their typically unassuming way. It occurs to you as you approach that Peak must have had practice at staying invisible. Have you ever met someone from a certain Galaxy's Guardians franchise who is very good at turning invisible? All good? They look up from their slate. That crew you were talking to. They nod to the group leaving the canteen. Will they join us? They'll do it. Nicely done. Peak beckons for you to follow as they peel off the wall and head out into the walkway overlooking the cordon. Glad you were here to talk them into it. I never had much with the way of people. Peak smiles and looks away quickly as you walk. Why's that? Well, Peak pauses. Maybe it'd be more accurate to say people never had much of a way with me. They squint, irritated by their own odd turn of phrase. What I mean is, people have caused me a lot of trouble. I've had people hate me without knowing a thing about me. They tuck their hair behind their ear. I'm sure you know the feeling. I do. Peak glances up at you. Sorry to hear that. It marks you, am I right? It does. Peak nods. You both walk in silence for a moment. Not an awkward silence, but one of solidarity. Peak leads you around the corner, heading back to the main cordon access way. I appreciate you coming in and helping us out on this, Sleeper. On talking to the crew and, well, you know. Maybe after this insane plan is done, we can talk properly. They keep looking ahead, and you realize they're nervous. I'd like that. Peak smiles, looking down at their feet. That's settled then, they say to the floor. I'd better report the news to Esh. We have ourselves a tug escort. Peak stops at an intersection. See you soon, Sleeper. And please take care. And with that, they drift away, their head down, their gait changing as they do, their practiced invisibility shrouding them like a cape. I think that's everything. With one cycle to spare. Ooh, baby, that was a close one. We went all in. We, like, worked ourselves to the bone for that. Which just makes me kind of angry at a certain someone who I spoke to. I still don't know how to feel about Helen. Part of me wants to believe in the interior goodness of people, but corporation plus politician kind of makes me hesitant. I guess we'll find out. We're gonna see if we're gonna die a terrible death. Probably tomorrow. Okay. Oh god. She's gone, Sleeper. Oh no! Peak is breathless and shaking. She started the run without us. Esh? Peak looks confused. Who else? Let's go. If we head to the cordon now... Peak starts back up at the corridor. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything! They turn back. She has to make it, Sleeper. She has to. A shiver runs down your spine. Esh, I hope you know what you're doing. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. You arrive, frantic and anxious, at the cordon. Peak is nowhere to be seen. Then you hear footsteps, hammering on the metal stairway Helen's drone led you through before, the one that leads up to the observation deck. You leap up the stairs 2 at a time, and make it to the top, momentarily blinded by the light pouring into the observation deck. Sleeper! Peak emerges from the light. I know she's trying to protect me, but... What was she thinking? She was always planning this, I know it. They turn away. How could I have not seen it coming? There she is! Peak rushes to the wide window, leaning forward to catch a glimpse of the Climbing Briar's blue XPR livery against the black of the void. You spot the Climbing Briar, a glint of blue and white, and beside it, the red glare of a tug's lights. The tug crew went with her! Peak smiles. I knew they'd keep their word. That'll help? Peak doesn't seem to hear you, but the idea of the crew backing Ash makes you smile. Maybe this thing will work. You watch as the Briar and its tug escort arc down towards the edge of the cordon. I've never seen that word before. Demarcated by the red lights of the perimeter system. So far so good. The Briar will just look like another refugee ship being escorted into the cordon. At least, at a glance. Pete grips the rail as Ash reaches the edge of the cordon, that invisible net of sensors splayed between ships and drones. Now let's hope the blind spot triggered. You would think back to the mess of systems you had to wade through to set it up, the delicate contingencies you set up to trigger the sensor blackout at just the right moment. Without noise, without ceremony, the Briar slides through the cordon. You await the flickering of alarm lights, the swarming of drones, but nothing. Just another cycle, just another ship. Ash is in. Both you and Peak let out a breath you've been holding and laugh. There's still one more thing, though. How did she do it? Peak smiles, shaking their head. We did it. If it hadn't been for us, that would have been so bad. If I had taken one more cycle, we would have been screwed. Peak smiles wider. Yes, we did. They laugh. You feel a little shaky from the tension, but Peak's ease helps you settle. You imagine Ash, steely-eyed, in the pilot seat of the Briar, searching for a place to dock. Maybe being stubborn has its advantages. Are you okay? Me? Peak sighs. I think that took years off my life, but I've got to hand it to Ash. She was right. You and Peak turn back to the window, looking for the Briar again amongst all those little holes, the calm fading as a new worries settle in. You spot the Briar for the first time, docking with the largest of the flotilla ships, a vast converted tanker, half of its protective plates removed. You think about the effort it must have taken to get that thing all the way here from the inner system. You watch the Briar, unable to get any sense of progress from its placid exterior. They will be offloading everything now, Peak says, both assuring you and themselves that everything is going according to plan. You think of all the supplies loaded into the Briar and how long the process of unloading them might take. The bay was packed, rammed with everything you could offer, and the thought of bringing that all to the flotilla makes you smile. You think of the reaction of the refugees, of the welcome they'll give Ash as the bearer of such gifts. You even imagine a smile from Ash as she's showered with thanks. You focus on that as you watch the Briar, and continue the nervous wait for it to finish unloading. It's breaking off! Peak points to the Briar, and you see a puff of air and dust that accompanies the emergency depressurization. Ash must have ended things early, but why? Then you see them, the tugs closing in on the Briar. Havenage must have spotted the ship. You and Peak are against the window again, willing the Briar a safe path out of the flotilla. Suddenly the Briar shifts in space, a blue blur between two holes. Peak whistles. Look at that! They smile at you. Look at those upgrades we put together work. Oh, thank God! You watch as Ash cuts through the crowded flotilla, the tugs not daring to follow her dangerous path and peeling away. It's hard to keep track of the Briar, and suddenly both you and Peak are searching the black for a sign. Where's she gone? Then all of a sudden she's out, blue against the black, pulling away from the cordon on a wide arc back towards the station. A clean run! Peak cheers and smiles at you. We did it! She's out! They beam uncontrollably at you, the tension released. You find yourself smiling too, smiling at these two beautiful idiots and their beautiful ship. Then Peak is hugging you, squeezing you with all the nervous energy they've been building. Thank you, Sleeper. We did this together. They step back, still smiling. We did something. Come on. They rush out of the observation deck. Let's meet her. Oh, baby. Oh, hey, I got an upgrade point. What should I put it in? Endure, Intuit, Engage. Let's do Intuit. Fuck. I need 3 points. Rude. Fine. Fine. I will wait. I am patient. Oh God. Please tell me everything's gonna be okay. You and Peak rush into the Briar, finding yourselves in the now empty bay. The change is a reminder of what you achieved, and looking around you feel all the more satisfied. A hiss sounds at the far end of the bay, and Ash enters, looking exhausted. Peak runs up to embrace her, but she sits down on the bay floor before they reach her. Uh-oh, what happened? You did it. They sit beside her. Ash, you were incredible. She smiles a small smile at this, laying her head on Peak's shoulder. You suddenly feel like you're intruding, seeing the two of them like this, quiet and content. Sleeper, Peak calls. Come on over. You cross the bay and sit beside them on the hard metal floor. Ash, Peak asks. Did you give the flotilla our chairs? They both burst out laughing at the ridiculousness of it all, at the exhaustion and the worry and everything else. You laugh too. It's impossible not to. And after a while, you all come to a stop, Peak wiping their eyes and Esh shaking her head. You would have loved to see it, Sleeper, Esh says quietly. The welcome I got. They came to greet the ship once I docked, to offload supplies. I told them I was coming, of course, as soon as I got inside the cordon. But there were so many. Children, families. They were smiling at me, shaking my hand. Sol was there too, Peak, and he's just as gruff as he sounds over the comms. She smiles. They took it all, crate after crate, until the ship was emptied out. Esh looks away. But there were so many, and even with everything we managed to bring, they needed more. They made me promise I would try to come back. Esh, Peak shakes their head. You know we can't do that twice. Esh stands up. What are we supposed to do? Wait for them to lift the quarantine? She's angry again, that familiar tension rising in her voice. Peak tries to pull her back down. Sit, Esh, rest. You've done enough for today. Don't, Peak. I know my limits. Esh hardens. Okay, well, seeing as they didn't catch you, perhaps they'll lift it. They know the flotilla poses no danger now, and if they can account for the extra load on the life support... Esh walks away towards the ladder that leads up into the upper part of the ship. I need to rest, Peak. She holds up a hand. Sleeper. And then she limps up the ladder, step by painful step. I'm afraid if you were expecting a change in Esh's demeanor. Peak smiles at you. It's okay. Let her rest. She needs it. That was a close call at the end there. Peak nods. I think I need some rest too. They put a hand on your shoulder and get up from the floor. We couldn't have done this without you, Sleeper. And I know those in the flotilla would thank you too. Thank you. Peak limps up the ladder too, leaving you alone on the metal floor of the bay. Your thoughts drift to all those people on the flotilla, sleeping and sitting on metal floors like this. Children, families, playing in cargo bays and repurposed fuel tanks. You know their story isn't over yet, and you look forward to meeting them. The quarantine will lift, and you feel more sure of this fact every moment, even though you aren't sure why. You lie back on the metal and stare at the ceiling. What was it Fang told you, Erlin said? The eye opens for us all? Maybe the old guy was right. A home for the lost. You like the idea of that. Maybe in time you can help it make that a reality. But something is bothering you. A sliver of a thought, like a splinter you can't extract. Why are thousands of refugees coming here now? People don't abandon their homes for nothing. What wave is rushing through the system, and when will it reach the eye? You shudder on the cold metal floor and get up. Something is coming. You can feel it. This isn't over. Well, that's terrifying! Something is coming. Do you think that's the second game, or is that like... Oh, episode Flux complete. First part of the flotilla story can complete. Episode Refuge begins when the cycle clock below is filled. Ooh! What's done is done. Now all you can do is wait to see what happens next. So we're on to the next episode. We finished Flux. Oh, that was so good, but also so terrifying. I'm glad we went through with it, though. I'm glad we were able to help. It was a very tight clutch of getting everything done in time, but we did it, and everyone got their stuff. It wasn't enough, but it looks like the quarantine is definitely going to be lifted. But I'm definitely worrying now. Especially about what was said. Like, what's coming? What is making so many people leave at once? What could have caused something like that? I don't know, and it scares me. But I know for sure that I need to restock on stuff. I need to try and get some more scrap, stuff like that, just to prepare for whatever's coming next, because God knows what's going to happen next. We're probably going to eventually run into stuff. Maybe we're going to be able to help the refugees get assimilated onto the eye, but other than that, I'm not sure what could be coming for us, what it could be. Is it another collapse like Solheim? Or maybe this is all building up to the second game, because I believe this is the last of the content we have before we have to wait for the second game. I don't know. Either way, I'm glad we helped out when we could have. And I'm glad I didn't listen to Helen. Well, I guess maybe something bad could have happened, but it didn't. Because we planned and we were prepared, but goodness gracious. I'm glad we helped when we could have. And I'm scared at the same time. This ticking clock is scaring me, and we're gonna have to find out what all of that will mean next time. But until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself, remember to clutch that victory, and have a good day.